To our next session of the day on a very, very important and power-packed topic, biotechnology solutions, the game changer for fermented dairy products. Again, something unique which we have not heard in the last 1.5 days, I would rather say. And before I call on the esteemed speaker, we would like to set the stage for him. Thank you so much. Now, since the stage is set, I would like to invite with a big round of applause our next presenter, Mr. Kaushal Vaishnav, business manager from CHR Hansen, who will be presenting on biotechnology solutions, the game changer for fermented dairy products. A big round of applause for Kaushal. Kaushal, welcome to the stage and looking forward to a great session from you.
Good afternoon, everyone. I think we just witnessed an interesting panel session, and before I kind of delve into what I'm going to discuss from a Christian Hansen perspective, our contribution in terms of the biotechnological solutions that elevate the dairy in general, I think I would just like to remix a couple of things that were kind of discussed in general.
Please be ready.
Am I audible to the end? Thank you. Yeah. So, thing is that what we witnessed was, I think Dr. Neerja spoke of gut microbiome access. This is something that I'm going to repeat a bit here in general from a Christian Hansen perspective. But I'm also going to cover an area which is concerning today with respect to biotechnological or the microbial solutions supporting the food waste in general. So these are the two areas that I would be primarily talking. Just to give a brief around what we do is that nature is the most best suited mechanism that is prevailing today in terms of providing us with what we need. And we at Christian Hansen are kind of a strong believer of utilizing nature's own mechanism in providing our own solution. Today, with a huge bank of almost 50,000 bacteria, we can create multiple solutions which can be used for dairy industry in general in terms of providing varieties of food products and providing variety of solutions ranging from fermenting to health-based probiotic solutions. Just a brief snapshot from what Christian Hansen is. It's an organization which was formed in 1874, headquartered in Denmark, Copenhagen, and having a kind of a bank of almost. We are a microbial guys. We are the people who kind of work on bacteria, commercialize them so that they are applicable in the food matrix in general for food industry. And typically, this is where our strength lies. Today, Christian Hansen itself is one of the largest lactic acid bacteria bank in itself in terms of application perspective. Incidentally, we are also one of the world's most sustainable company, recognized among one of the most sustainable companies by the corporate knighthoods globally. So everything that comes with a responsibility, which is what Christian Hansen believes. If you see where we kind of contribute, it's ranging from dairy, meat to fermented food and beverages. If you are going to make a dairy product like a yogurt, dahi, lassi, buttermilk, cheese, this is where you will find us through some of our microbial solutions which are fermenting, be it fermented meat sausages, fermented beverages like non-alcoholic beers, kombuchas of the world. You will find us there, which is something that we continue to do in India since last 20 odd years. Just few updates for the industry people here. Few things have transpired. We are merging with Novozymes, and the merger has been announced. That's on progress. You will be seeing news about them as we go along. There is an interesting development that has happened in China with respect to UHT yogurt with live probiotic bacteria, which is something which is pioneered by Christian Hansen today. That is an area that could be an interest of industry. And if you are traveling to Copenhagen, Denmark, you're most welcome to visit our new innovation center that has happened out there. I will not talk too much, but I'll probably repeat something that has been discussed in the last panel in a much more pictorial way. As we say that we are a bacteria guy, and probably the belief is that they have been ever on this planet way ahead of us. They have been there, they will be there, and they will prevail. Even if dinosaurs go away, human beings go away, it appears that the bacteria are going to be on this planet forever. And they have a significant impact on human beings. A lot of that was spoken about it. I'll just try and narrate it in a slightly pictorial way, is that it's a little known fact that we have more amount of bacteria than human cells in our body. It's a mystery that not many people are fully aware. If you were to kind of remove the water of your body, the biggest mass that might come out is the bacteria of your body. And these tiny organisms has a significant impact on how you live today at this point of time. Majority of them live in gut. So they interact with your intestinal system. That means they interact with your absorption ability. They interact through neural system, because 70% of your neural systems are through your body, are interacting through spinal cord, and they interact, and that's where the gut and the brain axis relationships are established today. The science is discovering newer and newer things day by day as we go along. And every time a new thing is found, it amazes how this bacteria influence our life in day-to-day aspects. Typically, your microbiota, your gut microbiota can be a mirror to your health in terms of how food is absorbed in your body, how nutrients are interacting within your own system, and how other pathogenic bacteria are prevented within your system to grow and protect you and give more immunity around that part. I think one of the speakers also spoke as to how it evolves. So when you are born, or as a human being when we are born, we bring in a lot of bacteria, the good ones, from the placenta of the mother. And that is where the kid or the child is kind of well protected. There is an immune system, there is a digestive system that prevails out there. But as we age and as we grow around, what we see is a consistent depletion of the good bacteria, which effectively is because of the reason of various aspects of your health reasons, because of some of the usage of medications, because of the stress levels and the anxiety levels as we prevail. So as you grow older and older, the microflora within your gut is depleting in terms of the good, and that's where we start seeing bit of fatigues, bit of issues as we grow old and old. And that's where we kind of say interventions can help. Less known the fact that actually these bacteria interact in your gut and influence vital functions. Typically, let's say, these interact and kind of modulate your vitamin absorptions. They actually secrete some of them inside your gut. They create a barrier function, allowing pathogens to kind of not enter your intestine. They actually can create more of a interaction with the neural systems, causing your mood changes or the brain axis kind of a situation. And the science goes on. Today we have been, I would say, we are just scratching the surface as we go along, and then more and more is being discovered about how microbes actually shape up our body. Sorry. Yeah. And that's where we say, okay, what can be done? And if we were to kind of have a gut kind of influential activity to be done, an intervention with a probiotic is something that could be an area which can be considered as a part of healthy living. When you say probiotics, there is a clear-cut definition given by the World Health Organizations, and which specifically mentions around 3 base pillars. One, it has to be live, it has to be conferred in an adequate amount, and actually it has to provide some kind of health benefits out there. Again, when we say this, these are, as we heard one of the speaker in last session, they are very much strain specific. So a laundry list of bacteria is not what we want. We want a very specific strain, very specific activity, and a very specific benefit that can be occurred. And this requires lots and lots of investment in terms of finding out the right bacteria, giving the right kind of benefit. If you look at some kind of work that has been done in terms of documentation, at Christian Hansen we are having the world's 2 most largely researched bacteria, the world 2 best documented strains that we have, the LGG and the BB12. I'll briefly talk about both these things in terms of what impact it can have and how it is being exploited in the dairy industry in general. To give you a brief idea, the broader research that has occurred and the broader work that has happened are typically in the areas where it is to do with the gut health and immune function modulation. When I say immunity, it is also related to the fact that respiratory wellness is a subset of that part. So the point I'm trying to make here is that of all the 50,000 bacteria today, we ourselves are also trying to find out more and more information about our own bacteria and more benefits associated. At the same time, trying to uncover more and more newer species and strains which can be of human benefit. Someone was talking of deliverables to the last mile. Yes, if these bacteria are not kind of put in a proper format, how is industry going to use them? They are microbes. This is what we do. We convert them into a format which is either frozen or a freeze-dried format, which can be applied straight away into food matrix and can be used straight away as an adjunct or a process aid, as depending on the kind of an applicants. Talking of gut health, so let's say gut health. It's an area where we say that how do you measure a gut health? And there are no biomarkers actually. There are no biomarkers, but they are all symptomatic. So gut health can be an area which can be marked through, I would say, reduced gastrointestinal discomfort or a maintenance of a normal bowel situations. And these are the way the researches and the feedbacks are taken on consumption of these bacteria. Just to give you a highlight, for example, if you take adequate amount of Bifidobacterium BB12, there are quite a bit of an evidences available with research done that it improves the bowel movement and defecation properties, which eventually leads to a healthy gut situation and alleviating any of the symptoms which are associated to diarrhea or the bloating in general. So this is just an example of how things are kind of measured. Immune health, a similar mechanism, but for immune health there are ways and means which are more tangible slightly, and it is like typically through either a vaccine response or also a symptomatic benefit out there. Just to give you an example as to how kind of a research on a bacteria or a documentation on a bacteria is actually done. Quick snapshot of the nature of benefits that can be kind of summarized for some of the bacteria like LGG, where we say that LGG helps you in kind of no problem. So if you look at the kind of results, we are talking of reduced respiratory issues or improved immune responses in kids generally. These are the areas which are kind of very much evidently visible, and the data are available as of now today. These are the things that can be exploited by the industry for the wellness and benefit of consumers. Just to give you a brief snapshots, dairy industry by leaps and bounds are trying and making an effort to make this reach to the right people, to varieties of launches of probiotic products out there. Well, someone was talking in the previous panel about the awareness around that part. I'm 100% sure that most of us are aware of the probiotic curd here. But most of us are not consuming probiotic curd because we consume curd. हम दही खा रहे हैं ना, तो probiotic ही होता है. And actually that correction probably needs to begin with the industry itself and us itself, where we start recognizing the product which is having an actual health benefit versus a normal product. So this is what industry is today kind of making an effort, and there is a long way to go for probiotic products, dairy-based products in India, but the inception has been made. Someone was also talking about affordability, reachability, and penetrability. Well, I must compliment industry, dairy industry in general, where they have also made some efforts in trying to make some of the most affordable products reach to the masses. Amul happens to have converted their entire buttermilk portfolio to the probiotic buttermilk today, which is reaching millions of people today. So yes, the ball is on the roll. Hopefully it should gain momentum as we go along. If you are interested more to know about the science and the applicability, I always recommend you visit this website, Christian Hansen Probiotic Institute. There's a lot of evidences, a lot of science, a lot of videos which talks about how these things work, these bacteria, how they influence certain aspects in our body. The other topic that I was going to talk is, briefly I'm going to touch here, is the bioprotection. And this is more about the fact that how do we use the potential of good bacteria to harness the reduction in food wastages, at the same time also help in giving more of retained freshness in fermented foods, especially the dairy-based products. At the same time, now you have a lot of brands are there, a lot of brand people are there. How can you kind of have an enhancement of your brand protection? For example, if we are talking of a shelf life of 7 days, and if you have an yeast and mold problem in the product, on the 7th day, if there is a bulge packet in a refrigerator, it's a negative mark from a consumer. This thing potentially can help a lassi or a buttermilk or a dahi kind of protect it for a longer duration, especially during the peak summer months where the cold chains are fragile in India. Yes, I spoke about this part typically, and it's typically increasing your productivity at the same time building and protecting brand. When I say productivity, obviously you can have an extended shelf life of your fermented milks, which effectively means how much of the value that you can generate in this channel is something for you to calculate as a manufacturer. Variety of applications which can be there. The Fresh Q is our brand of product which can be applied into fermented milk, cheese out there, fermented plant-based products as well to enhance the shelf life. Just to give you a perspective, how much differentiation we can bring around with the bioprotective culture. This is actual yogurt picture. Dahi ka picture hai, where if it is stored for a longer duration, this is what happens. But if you add bioprotection out there, what you can avoid is very much evident in general. I'll just end it that bacteria has an immense potential. Biological sciences and the microbial sciences are just evolving as we go along. And I'm sure this is where the differentiation will be brought upon to your table for you as a manufacturer to give it to your consumers in terms of health or a better product or extended quality. It could be innovation on the supply side chain also. So this is what Christian Hansen would be bringing, and as we go along, you can always count on us as far as the microbial solutions are concerned. Thank you. Sure.
Mr. Kaushal Vaishnav from CHR Hansen talking on biotechnology solutions, the game changer for fermented dairy products. Would also like to tell you that Kaushal and CHR team are there by the end of the day today after the award ceremony as well. So please feel free to reach out to Kaushal and the team to know more about their unique offerings and products which will help your organizations for your unique problems as well. Now, Kaushal, I would request you to kindly be on stage, and I would like to call on stage Dr. Neerja Hajela from Yakul Dannon. Neerja ji, if you could kindly come and do the honors of felicitating our esteemed speaker. Thank you, Neerja ji.
Thank you. So good to see you. How are you? So good to see you. Thank you.
A big round of applause once again, ladies and gentlemen. Mr. Kaushal Vaishnav, Business Manager, CHR Hansen, for that wonderful presentation on biotechnology solution, the game changer for fermented dairy products. Thank you, Kaushal, for that wonderful session.